Bingus, that is not true. That couldn't be further from the truth. It is stream time. Well, what's going on? Username SRHADDT478 on YouTube. That's a great username. Don't ever change it. But welcome back, everybody. It's true. We are live. We are alive again. The chat is, oh, is that your catchphrase? It's true. That is my catchphrase. True. I like it. You guys don't like it? The fact that it's true? But today we're painting the you know what else is true? We're painting the Dark Magician Girl's hat today with the transition paints. My hairline is just fine, thank you. You can see it from space. The only response. Wait, what do you mean? I don't know how to respond to the constant criticism. What's going on, Lizard? Today we're using your lovely transition paints. So this is going to be interesting because the instructions are fairly clear on what you need to do to make these work well. It's okay, Blood. I appreciate it no matter what. Just getting everything finishing, setting up. They took your Dreadnought too? The West has fallen. Okay. Let's get moving. Okay. So, for the hat, well, firstly, let's show everybody for posterity and who isn't here. This is where we left off. We've done the face, the hair, most of the clothes, and this is just like mainly just like the entry, like the first steps are done. We're doing the hat today. Boring, girl. We need to do the rest of it. It's not boring. They touched them. Not only did they touch them, they said they're no longer called knights. They're called big robots. They're called mechs. They changed the name canonically. So first thing, what's up, Cole? Is that the instructions say Imperial Doinks. The instructions for these paints say that the best for the best results, these need to have a glossy black finish on them first. So let's do this. Let's decide where the highlights are going to be, so I can see where I want it to be. It's going to be right here. So I'm gonna do a black base coat And then we're gonna do a white. Where's my big brush? Hang on. And then we're gonna do a white. Highlight, because it seems like that's how they want it to work. It's sort of like the same as the Turbo Dork paints. They want it to be pre-highlighted first. So we'll start with that. You hear a whole lot of yapping. We are yapping a little bit. Just a little bit. But let's start with the black base coating. I wish I had actually, hang on. I wish I had a bigger brush. I know that I do. Here we go. I wanted to get my big dry brush because this will be great for just base coating it black. Yappin' 40K. It's true. See, I said it again. It's true. So let's just get this base coat on here really fast. And I do like using a dry brush for this because look how fast that is, and it's nice and even. Just make the key to making this work is just go in one direction. The boy band one direction, just like this. And let's let that dry a little bit. We'll do this side. And then we'll be using a sponge for the highlighting. I just removed paint for an hour. Wouldn't that be a stream? Okay, let's let that dry. Does not need to be perfect for these purposes because we're just getting it to the recommended shade. So first, while that dries, let me show you these prints that I did. So Bingus, you asked about me printing these firstborns. So I printed this is a 3D print that I did. It turned out pretty good. Might be difficult to see. No, this is scaled to proportion. I'm just zoomed in really far. OG scale. But I think this turned out really, really well. Let me see if I can brighten this up a little bit. Can you see that okay? Let me see. Zoom in. But these turned out really well. So I did this, and then here's another one that I printed. Grab him. So here's the Primaris. Yeah, this is a crazy looking DMG, but look at the difference in scale. They're quite a bit bigger. But the print came out really well. At least I think so. This is using the Saturn IV Ultra 16K. Tree fitty times the size, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Here's our... So you can already see where the highlight should be. See that line of light right there? That's exactly where the highlight should be. So, first thing, we need one more coat of the black just to make it completely opaque. Just to make it nice and even. And then we will put that down. Man, I love Dark Magician Girl's hat. Such a specific and unique style. It needs to be shiny. That's the requirement for these paints apparently. Is that the transition paints, they want it to have a glossy back surface. Am I sure it's not rescaled on the firstborn? I'm pretty certain that it's the correct size. I have some firstborn with me, and they look the exact same size. They're in the closet, but they are the originals. I'm just blowing a little air on this. No, and you can't say that. The answer is no, and you can't say that. Eating holes in my jacket. Second coat for this piece. They're empowering me. They are empowering me. So, starting with the top of the hat, we have to decide where we're going to be doing the highlight, and we've already said that it's going to be this line here, going up that side, because that's where our peak is going to land. So where is our matte white? It's right here. So we're just using a matte white. Nothing special. And I'm going to use a sponge to apply. So let's do just like this. It's sort of like a Zenithal highlight, but I'm being more specific with it. I'm essentially just drawing the highlight in myself. So something like that. Because the transition paint is going to go over this and use that color. What's up, Odo? Just everybody all at once. Oh, will somebody please drop the stream link in... Odo, will you please drop the stream link in the Discord chat? I didn't do that. I forgot. Okay. Now let's let that dry. Appreciate it. Thank you, Cole. Okay, so now we have this prepped side. Let's use our transition, and we're gonna use Electric Intense Violet is gonna be our transition paint. Let's see how this works. So the instructions say, best effects over a gloss black base, shake well, apply in thin coats. That's it. Nothing else special. It doesn't say whether to use a brush or anything else, so I'm going to assume brush is the correct method. So this is the Electric Blue Intense Violet Shifter Paint by Vallejo. Thank you again to Lizard for sending these. So I imagine that these have like a metallic back to them. Whoa, already looking at this. So see that blue? Oh, this is interesting. Okay. So you need this to be actually even thinner than this to work properly. Hang on. This is very liquidy, and it really likes to pool in these recesses here. And it's gonna need several coats to look right, I can already tell, because it wants to essentially gather in one spot to do the effect. It's an effect paint, so it requires special circumstances, obviously. Let's try and put at least one layer down before we continue. But yeah, this is definitely a build. Thank you, Benji. So we have to let that dry all the way before we continue. My microphone should not be super low, but let me turn it up a little bit. Is that better? I say because it's fairly high. Sub to keep grandma dead. I don't have water, but I have this can of Diet Cola, sponsored by Coca-Cola. Not just kidding. That'd be awesome. I think I just need to have my face closer. Okay, let's try for a second coat here. Let's see how. Yeah, it really wants to pool. This is difficult to work with. Like it does not behave like any other paint. It doesn't even behave like the Turbo Dork paints, which are similar in their effect. It sort of almost behaves like a wash, because it really wants to stick to the recesses here, no matter how little I'm thinning it. Very interesting. Not gonna say it's my favorite, but it's definitely got a unique color to it. Thank you, Tism. Thank you for the compliment. These are your favorite bloopers. But it's clearly, so this needs several coats for sure. But like, look at the back of this. It's gonna turn really metallic, and you can see that it's got several angles. I mean, that's super unique. That's very cool. But this needs a crazy amount of coats for sure. And black is clearly the preferred color, because if you look at the white section, it almost doesn't appear at all. That's a interesting thing. Tell him that he's probably gonna have to listen to the recording later. But let's try it on the other piece here, the front portion. Which, by the way, everybody that's hanging out here that's new, this is what we're working on, Dark Magician Girl. This is what we've done so far. Honor, we did the hair, the base coat of the clothes, and the eyes and the face. The eyes were particularly fun because we had to do several different versions of it. 57 streak. Stream streak. Thank you, Tism. Thank you very much, Tism. Okay, let's try putting it on this front portion here. What's so interesting is that it goes on almost white from my perspective. Like, it's got such a the medium that or the glue that's being used for this is not my favorite. It looks really bad until it dries. Like, I almost can't tell like where it's gonna dry well because of the consistency of the medium. It feels like a wash, but it sticks in other areas like a normal acrylic. Very weird. Very weird, but it looks great. I wonder how this would be applied with a sponge, because I like I like the finish on it. I wish it was more even. Let's put one more coat here. Because this still definitely feels like it needs more attention. I wonder how many coats it takes to look. I guess the word is done. Because it's supposed to be clear. What's going on, Corinthian? Welcome back. We're testing out these shifter paints today, generously sent to us by Lizard, because he wants to use them for nights and wants to see how they work. So apparently you can't pre-highlight these. It's not, this actually isn't like Turbo Dork paints in that sense, because it really only works when you apply it to a black surface, because if you see where I put the white, it doesn't work at all. Yes, she has a lighter blue and pink, and the pink is going to go in the ridges there. We're just testing this out. If we don't like it, we'll paint over it. But DMG has a blue like this, and then we're gonna make it lighter along the edges of the cape and everything like that, and do the ridges in the pink that she normally is seen with. Whoop. Not if I don't break it first. The head came off. I'm just kidding. We didn't glue the head on yet because we want to do the rest of the body. Okay, well, while that's drying, I want that to dry completely before, so we can continue. Let's do the rest of the, let's do some more of the body. So hang on, let me get the other paints. Be more like this, up to this color. So we're gonna highlight going up to a really pretty light teal. Get our sponge ready. We're first going to do the Hydra Turquoise in a sponge. And then we're going to use a brush to make a textured surface with the highest highlight. Here comes the Hydra Turquoise with a sponge. And we'll see how this looks on the cape here. Back up a little bit. You turn down this light a little bit. Kind of hard to see. Sometimes too much light is bad. So I'm letting the sponge do the work to hit these highlights. is to play the security. That won't work. But like I said, I'm letting the sponge do the work. I'm just lightly hitting it. What's up, Space Shark? You see we're painting DMG. Everybody say hi to the Shark Man. Sorry, I'm just concentrating on this really quick. Just trying to make sure I don't accidentally highlight where I don't want to. I already got it on the medallion, but that's okay, because we did the medallion in the wrong order. What's up, Adeptus Drunkenness? Welcome to stream. When the famous guy shows up, he's coming for that crown. Me and Shark can rule together as brothers. Rock, person, and fish, as it was always meant to be. Okay, so we've got some base highlights in. I like this color combo. Oh, I have one more thing to show you guys. Something that I'm excited about. It's about color theory. I'll show you in just a second. It's going to be part of a video series that I'm gonna do. Okay, so how do you guys like this? How do you guys like this color highlight? I think it looks pretty good. Now we're gonna texture it up. Thing about blue. He's got a thing about blue. Is this Black Magician girl? Yes. Hang on. Here's the face. We did the face before. The eyes were hard because I made them too round at first, so they looked really scary. But hang on just a second. Let me show you guys something while that's drying. Give me 1 second here. So I got these. They're color theory books. You may have seen these on Instagram or anything like that. But these are really cool because I want to make a video series on this one in particular. This is a really old color combinations dictionary. So, like, it has stuff like this. So for example, like it's like what colors might go with other colors and how can they complement each other. I think that this is really neat. Like, what if you painted a Space Marine or something else in like this combo or that one? How can these colors go together? And it comes in like different levels, like double color, triple, to the quad colors, all the way up to what the CMT codes are for them if you're like a digital artist. That's pretty cool. So this is volume 1, and then this is the second volume dictionary. It's so I'll post it. I'll send it to you, Shark. I'll send it to you direct. But it's called the Dictionary of Color Combos. It's from 1833 to 1834. It's the republishing of this. So I think it's pretty cool. And then this one is the second volume, a little later, and it has like more sophisticated, like it has like examples of how it would be used in like cloth and stuff like that. But it has it goes all the way up to like 6 color palettes. Pretty cool. But I'm going to be making a video series using these books to like, okay, I think it would be cool to do a short series where it's like it opens like with the black background like this, and I just put the book down and open to a random page, and like this is the one that we're using today. So we're going to be Space Marine in these colors, and then we paint it in that combo. I just think that would be neat. Anyway, but I thought these just came in the mail, and I thought these was great. Back to it. Dragon can read those. Dragon knows what they say in their original language. I already do. Bingus. Not programmed for love. My AI brain. But let's do some texturing. So we're going to use the Neptune Glow now, and we're going to do the texturing on the cloth to give this some character. Let's see how this looks. We got a little blue on the shoulder there. We'll fix that. I love this song. Do you like this? Do you like this Amy Rose remix? So let's do the peaks like this. This is just like how I showed on that one short. And it's going to just be layer after layer of this motion. Yes, Lizard, hang on one second. It's a hat. Here you go. So the transition paints require a couple things. One, it needs to be black underneath. That's the first thing. Two, I don't know if you can tell, like I can't describe this, but this is very tacky. So very sticky. and it needs a really, really dry surface to go on for it to adhere properly. Because we did a couple of coats, and if it's not dry all the way, it won't apply properly. So that's the basic thing with this, is that you need to be very careful with how you apply this, and it needs a glossy black undercoat for it to work. That's the number one thing. Don't use matte, don't use white. Like for here, we used a white paint. We tried to do like a zenithal highlight, and it doesn't apply right. Like you can see, it just doesn't work. Of course. Thank you for sending them so that we could give them a try. Bonk. This is what all custodians wear under the armor. Put him in a bikini. Put him in a bikini. I actually want a sharper brush. I want a larger brush, but sharper. That one's almost too small. It doesn't hold enough moisture. There we go. This should work better. So again, we're just doing hatching, which is this horizontal motion. And I'm just being as light touched as I can, trying to make a textured surface. The problem with using like whites or nearly whites like this is that they get firm so quickly. It's very difficult to work with them if you don't move fast. Anyone here like Grimdark? Of course. I need to do a Grimdark model here pretty soon. I feel like I haven't done something in that style in a while. I'm getting the itch. Do a little edge highlighting. Not being overly zealous. We're not getting into every corner here. Because this, like, for example, this whole ridge is going to be pink. Generate lizard in the key. Last week there was a foot cam. Says Hypnotoad. Okay, let's do the front. We have to be pretty careful with where we decide we want these peak highlights to be. Just trying to be conscientious of the rest of the body. And a little bit like it's one of those things where like less is more. We don't want it to be overly exaggerated. Because we're just drawing light. Thank you for the sub, Hypnotoad. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Who won the Armageddon box? We don't know yet. We're not going to know until September 1. I will announce it officially on the September the 1st, which is the same day that it'll be chosen. It could be you. No, I have not picked the winner. I have not picked the winner yet. It's a random number generator. The computer will pick it. The machine. The chesticle paint. You missed it. You blew it. All right, let's pick the pink. Going to be. Where did I put it? Here we are. Let's do the initial pink outlines. Select Hypnotoad as the giveaway winner. That only works if I'm looking at Hypnotoad directly. But there's a camera feed between us. Golem's not gonna put me in there. I am too. Don't you say that. Don't you say those awful things. Golem's dedicated YouTube watch it. Yes. My singular. I have no idea why. I think it's probably because I use non-specific or too untargeted YouTube titles. Because YouTube only recommends my stream when I say things like Warhammer or Space Marine specifically. I was painting an Imperial Fist. I was probably painting that one yellow one that I did. The pink really does a great job blocking out the colors here. It's such a good color scheme for this character. It's just good character design, like actually. Don't you start that riot. Some yellow dude with the cape. Yeah. Okay. Probably gonna need another coat of this pink for sure. But man, is that such a good color combo. Bubblegum pink and blue. go. Just being careful not to get it on the regular cape. How? That's a tough one because it's different for everybody. It's a different process. But the first one is speak to the one that you want to do that with. Begin with a conversation. That can't be right. That can't be true. It couldn't be. I've got to figure out a different situation for this mic. Because I'm keep tapping it with my paintbrush every time I move. I just got so fed up with the lav situation. Let's take a look with the head on really quick. Okay. We are getting closer and closer. But that's going to do it for today. This is where we're going to stop for today. We'll be back again tomorrow. And I think that we'll be about 90% done tomorrow. Yeah, for sure. Because the last thing to do is just the highlights on the pink. We'll finish the pink liner, and then we'll do the, we'll put the hat on, and we'll be good. But I think we've done a good job. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Here you go, Bingus. Goodbye, Shark Bro. Goodbye, Bingus. Goodbye, Tism. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me on stream again. Have a good night.